In many parts of Japan, there is a simple daily habit that often goes unnoticed. It does not require a gym membership, expensive equipment, or a complicated exercise routine. Yet, for many older adults, this ordinary movement pattern can help maintain mobility, balance, and flexibility well into later life. The habit is simple: spending time getting down to the floor and getting back up again. Think about how many modern adults live their daily lives. We sit in chairs, sleep in elevated beds, relax on couches, and use furniture that keeps us from having to bend our knees, hips, and ankles very deeply. As we age, this can gradually reduce the amount of natural movement we perform each day. But regularly sitting on the floor changes that. It encourages the body to move through a wider range of motion. The hips have to bend. The knees and ankles have to work. The legs help lower the body and bring it back up. The core must stabilize the torso. Balance becomes part of the movement. And over time, these small movements may help people maintain the physical abilities that are important for everyday independence. The remarkable thing is that it does not look like exercise. There is no treadmill. No complicated machine. No trainer counting repetitions. It is simply a different way of using the body. In traditional Japanese homes and cultural settings, floor-based living has historically been more common. People may sit on floor cushions, use low tables, or spend time in positions that require the body to regularly change levels. That is why the simple act of sitting down on the floor and standing back up can become surprisingly valuable as we get older. The movement begins before you even reach the floor. To lower yourself, you may bend at the hips and knees. You might use one leg to support more of your weight. Your ankle needs to remain mobile enough to help control the descent. Then, once you are on the floor, your body may naturally shift into different positions. You might sit cross-legged. You might extend your legs forward. You might sit with your knees bent. You may change positions every few minutes without even thinking about it. These small adjustments matter because prolonged movement in only one position can make the body stiff. Changing positions asks different muscles and joints to participate. Your hips rotate. Your knees bend. Your ankles move. Your spine adjusts. Your core helps keep you stable. Then comes the most important part: getting back up. For many people, especially as they age, standing up from a low position can become challenging. It requires a combination of leg strength, balance, coordination, and mobility. You may need to bring one foot underneath your body. You may shift your weight. You may push through your legs. Your core works to keep you steady. Then you rise. That simple sequence can reveal a lot about the body. If someone struggles to get up from the floor, it may be because one or more parts of the movement have become difficult. Perhaps the legs have become weaker. Perhaps balance has declined. Perhaps the hips, knees, or ankles have become stiff. That is why practicing safe floor-to-standing movements can be so useful. It keeps the body familiar with the skill. And that word is important: skill. Mobility is not only about stretching. It is also about movement practice. You can have flexible muscles but still struggle with balance. You can have strong legs but rarely practice moving through a deep range of motion. You can exercise regularly but still avoid certain everyday movements. The body benefits from practicing the things it may need to do. This is one reason why simple daily movement can sometimes be more powerful than people realize. You do not always need an intense workout. You need movement that you can perform consistently. For older adults, consistency often matters more than doing something extreme once or twice. Imagine two people. One person spends an hour exercising once a week but spends most of the remaining days sitting. The other person walks regularly, changes positions throughout the day, occasionally sits on the floor, and repeatedly performs small movements that keep the body active. Both forms of activity can be useful, but daily movement gives the body frequent reminders to stay capable. That is the beauty of the floor habit. It can become part of ordinary life. You can sit on the floor while reading. You can stretch gently while watching television. You can spend a few minutes playing with grandchildren. You can sit on a comfortable cushion and practice changing positions. The goal is not to force yourself into uncomfortable positions. The goal is to stop avoiding movement completely. But there is another benefit that often receives less attention. Balance. When you sit in a chair, the chair does much of the work for you. It provides support. You can lean against the backrest. Your body remains relatively stable. The floor offers less automatic support. You have to control your own body position. When shifting from one side to another, your core and hips work together to keep you balanced. When moving from the floor to standing, your brain and body must coordinate the movement. This kind of coordination becomes increasingly important with age. Good mobility is not simply about how far you can stretch. It is about how confidently you can move. Can you turn? Can you bend? Can you change direction? Can you recover your balance? Can you safely get down and get back up? These everyday abilities can make a major difference in maintaining independence. Of course, the floor habit is not for everyone in the same way. If you have severe knee pain, hip problems, dizziness, recent surgery, or difficulty balancing, you should not suddenly start dropping down to the floor without proper support. Safety always comes first. The good news is that you can adapt the habit. You do not have to begin by sitting directly on a hard floor. You can use a firm cushion. You can practice beside a sturdy chair. You can hold onto stable furniture for support when standing. You can begin with a higher surface and gradually move lower if your body feels comfortable. The purpose is not to prove how flexible you are. The purpose is to maintain movement. A simple approach is to practice for just a few minutes. Lower yourself slowly and carefully. Sit comfortably. Change positions gently. Then stand back up with control. That is enough. You can repeat the process a few times, depending on your ability. And there is no need to rush. In fact, moving slowly can help you pay attention to your body. You may notice that one hip feels tighter than the other. One ankle may have less mobility. One leg may feel weaker. These observations can help you understand which movements you should gradually work on.